Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joffy Noodle Legs here today. We're here today doing a little rehousing today of my little Bumba horrida, which is in here, which is the Brazilian redhead. Now, you may remember I got this as a gift from Mark the Spider Guy, and his name is Ashton. First of all, we thought his name was we thought it was T Vegans, but it was so small. But it's molted out 2 or 3 times since I've had it, so now it's at a nice little size. It's still okay in here, but I think I'm going to try and move it now while it's at a reasonable sort of size to a larger container. So what we're going to do is pop it into this one. So as you can see, it's got the same sort of height, and it's also, I believe, the same sort of length, but it's got double the size of the width. So it's going to be really good for this little spider. So what we do before we move it over, let's set up the little setup for it. I've not seen it for about a week or so now, the spider. So hopefully though it should be absolutely fine. So I'm just going to get myself a... Guys, you know what I'm like. I'm so disorganised, aren't I? Let's get some of this substrate. Here we go. So I'm using my Spider Life like I like to use, and I'm going to give it a bit of substrate in here. This one seems to like to burrow, and what it's done at the moment, because it's not got a lot of substrate in there, it can't burrow very much. So this way I'm going to give it a more of an enriched sort of life, really, because it will be able to burrow in this one, in this sort of enclosure. So I'm going to give it a nice bit of depth there. Got a nice bit of, let me put this down, guys. Got a nice bit of cork bark, a nice big size. So I'm trying to think best place to sort of place this. Might be like that in the corner. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's quite cool. So what I'm going to do is make that like that. Let me have a little think. I'm going to put some more substrate in around the sides here. It's got a nice depth there. Then I can place that there, giving it a nice height, and then giving it plenty of space for it to burrow. So I'm going to put a bit more substrate on the back of the I hope you can see, guys. Let me have a little look, make sure you can see something. What if I zoom in a bit? Let's have a look. See, when I'm doing these stuff, I get so involved I forget to think, oh, I wonder if they can see. Oh, I'm a bit of a banana, ain't I, eh? But there we go. That's a nice big thick substrate there. Got a little bit of a plant thing going on here, so might try and stick that in on the top. Yeah, I quite like it there. There's another little bit there, and going down in there. Nice bit of greenery. As for water bowl, I do have one going. Let me grab one. I've got a nice little, quite a size water bowl for it. Quite a nice size one. So I'm going to pop this one down over here. Probably hide it. No more luck. I'm sure the spider will probably at some point bury this. There we go. Gonna just again put that down like that. So that's quite simple. You know, I don't want to overdo it. Don't want too much going on in there. Don't want it being too busy. Got some little bit of a sphagnum moss, which I'm going to pop some in again. Yeah, that's going to keep doing that. So give me a minute, guys. What I'm going to do is find me little knife and cut off that end of that plant, because there's nothing on it, and all it's going to do is kick over the water bowl all the time. There we go. So now I can pop that down there, knowing that it's not going to be knocking my water bowl over. There we go. Bit more moss in there for the little baby, so it's got some nice different sort of environments to walk upon. There we go. Make sure it's got a nice little hide there. So what I'm going to do, guys, bring you over and show you the little setup. Nothing impressive, but it's just... So right, so here we are with the actual spider who's in here. I need to try and locate the spider. So what I'm going to need to do is take out some of the stuff from here. What I'm going to do, because I don't know how fast it's going to be, just going to undo the top for the moment. I won't take the lid off until we sort of going to get nearer to the point where we're going to get the little baby to come out. So I'm moving out these bits of stuff that could be in the way. I think it's going to be underneath the cork bark. Not sure if you guys can see anything, but yeah, I'm sure it's going to be underneath this cork bark here. So I'm going to try and see if I can remove the cork bark. Hello baby, I can see you. Going to try and mind my fingers. Right, so I've got the cork bark out. And the little spider's just sitting there. Trying to find somewhere to hide, I think. So, give me a minute, guys. Just let me find me a little paintbrush. Try and encourage the little baby not to hide, sweetheart. I'm not going to hurt you. Don't kick your little hairs at me. He's kicking his little hairs, bless his heart. So, let's have a little think. I'm going to try and move some of this out of the way. Now it's moved, I can flatten this out, which will make it a lot easier for me to sort of try and catch the little baby. It's gone right at the top there, so don't want it sort of like jumping up, so we're going to very carefully. Come on baby. So I've got it there inside the little catch cup. Now I've got to try and see if I can hopefully move the spider. If I can try and get that little lid to come off for me. There we go. I've got the little spider. I don't know what you can see, guys, in this little catch cup. Got a bit of cardboard which I'm going to slip underneath here and lift this up at the same time, hopefully trapping the spider inside the catch cup. There we go. So I've got the little spider just in there. If you can see it, guys, just in there. It's like a tiny little juvenile size now. It's doing really well. So right, what we're going to do, guys, not mess around too much. Let me put this, I know you can't see much at the moment, but I'm just trying to think of the safety of the spider first before anything else. So what I'm going to do, guys, is pop all this inside here like that. Then I can grab your camera and we can see if we can get the little spider to sort of move itself out. Take that away. There he is, look at that. Beautiful little spider sitting on top of the cardboard at the moment, which is fine, because I just wanted to get him over safely. Let me see if we can just zoom out slightly. There we go. So what I need to do is try and angle my camera there, and I'm going to try and encourage the little baby just to come off the little cardboard. We can, by just gently, very gently. Come on, my sweetheart. Always try and keep your paintbrush, guys, in contact with your spider. This way they won't see it as a threat. There we are, my darling. Just trying to get you off there. There we go. So he's off the cardboard. So I can now put my tongs in there and get rid of the cardboard. Break his little web there because he had his web on there, and he's in there safe. Up the side there, just see him? You might just be able to make him out. He's just there. So there we go. Right, that's your Bumba horrida, your redhead, your Brazilian redhead. Should we see if we can put a little bit of light on it? There we go. Beautiful little spider. I got this again, like I said, from Mark the Spider Guy. So now it's in a nice big environment for it, and this environment will last it for a long time. It really will. Rather than him trying to struggle to make a lovely hide for itself, it's got a beautiful hide in there now. So that went quite well, didn't it, guys? So as you can see, just take your time with the spider. The problem that I had was it had all its soil dug up on one side, so I had to wait for the spider to sort of move, so I could then pretty much flatten the mud, the substrate out, so I've got a flat clean surface. But he ended up going on the side of the of the actual enclosure, and I managed to use this little pot, which in fact was a waxworm pot. So keep hold of these guys, they're great for little catch cups. And he was on the side, so I just very gently popped that so he couldn't get away from the side, and then got a bit of cardboard and slipped that down. I was going to use the lid, but because the lid's got sort of like a butt lid, I'd have to lift it further away to get it underneath. So I just used a bit of cardboard. Yeah, just used that little bit of cardboard, just like that, and then just gently moved it over, and I put the whole thing down, lifted that off gently. The spider was in the enclosure by then, and then just with my magic tool just did a little magic walk of the spider, and it's in its new enclosure. And there he is, the Brazilian redhead. He will sit up there for a while because he's in the new environment. He will soon get used to it, but he's got plenty of water, plenty of space, and he's got a nice big hide in the enclosure. As you can see, he's got a nice little setup there. It's going to last him a long time. So there we go, guys. So what I'm going to do is just thank a few YouTubers before we go. And I know it's not a long video today, but with these small kind of spiders and the setup's not as big, it doesn't take as long to sort of like to do it, to be honest. So yeah, thank a few YouTubers, as I always do on my spider videos. I'd like to give a shout out to Mark the Spider Guy, Spider Mum 1978, Peter Webster, RS Designs, Unseen Universe, Unusual Pets, Eddie's Bug Babies, Incredible Inverts and Other Animals, Tea in the Deep Blue Sea, Scott's Inverts, Robbie's Talking Teas, Annie's Arachnids, Tom's Big Spiders, Dave's Little Beasties, and of course Tarantula Collective. They're all great channels, guys. Please go and check them out when you can. So what we're going to do, we're going to let the babies settle in there now for a few days, and then I will attempt feeding it. And another good thing about these, this it's got like a little doorway there, so you've not got to keep opening the whole lid every time to feed the baby. And it's got such a big sort of like this, you can do a lot of maintenance without sort of like worrying too much. But that little baby seems okay. I'm not going to stress it out by tapping it or trying to get it to come down, because it will come down in its own good time. As long as I've got it in its environment safe, that's all I want really. It will go around and have a little wander about in its own sort of time. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I will be doing some more sort of rehousings over time when the spiders require it. Obviously, I'm not going to just rehouse them for the sake of it. What this one had done in its old environment, it dug so much that it was pretty much like that. If I could zoom out, it was like that. It was all up to one side. And I just think you can't do nothing in there, you know. So, and I want the spider to have a better enriched sort of life. So I thought, well, I'm going to give him one with a bit more space, so he can still burrow. I do believe these are a sort of quite a burrowing species. They don't get very large, but yeah, he's going to be happy in this new home for a while. But yeah, as you saw, no signs of defensiveness or anything like that. No skitting around. It did a little bit of hair kicking when I took the cork bark off. It's just because I've disturbed its home. But then it just sort of settled down, just moved out the way, went up to the side of the tank, and I managed to catch it with no sort of like problems whatsoever. And I've had no hair kicking or anything since. So hopefully the spider's all happy. So what we'll do, guys, we'll close its little lid for it. Hopefully it will settle itself down in there. There we go. And that's it, guys. That was a little rehousing for you. And we got to see the little OBT sitting out there, still sitting out there. Anyway, guys, until next time, you look after yourselves, you look after one another, and I really hope that I'll see you all soon.